All right, cool. So, hey, what's up, everyone? We got our good friend here, Mr. Miguel Bautista from CFS Recovery. He is kind enough to join us today to share about his experience inside of Scale One Systems, specifically Scale Initiative. We've had the pleasure of working with Miguel for, man, I mean, close to over a year now, right? Getting up
Yeah.
there. And I've had the pleasure of actually meeting him in person in our mastermind in Colombia. He's doing great things for the world inside their program. Personally, he's a just amazing human being, fun to be around with. But Miguel, thanks for joining us today, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome, man. It's great to be here. And yeah, it's definitely been it's been a crazy year. It's a very different situation I'm in this year than exactly 12 months ago in a good way. So yeah, it's some things are unrecognizable. So yeah, thanks for having me on here.
Cool, man. So just to kind of give our viewers a high level overview of what you guys do, maybe can you just give them like who you serve, what you guys do, and kind of how all that works, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, so we have a program. It's called Recovery Jumpstart. The company is called CFS Recovery, and we help people recover from things like chronic fatigue syndrome, long COVID, fibromyalgia, essentially people who are bedridden and housebound. And they've seen all these different doctors, had all these different tests, and they've been sick and they're getting worse for years, if not decades. And so I went through that myself, went through an intense period where I had really bad health issues and I was able to work my way out and figure out what was going on. So that's exactly what we help people with nowadays. And right now we help people all over the world recover from this stuff.
Nice. And I'm not sure if you know the numbers, but like how many clients have you served thus far inside of the program?
Right now, there are there's about 230 people
Wow.
in our high ticket program. And then in our low ticket programs, there's a couple thousand. I don't even know the number.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot.
Plus, I know you have a YouTube channel. I mean, thousands of people consume your content. Man, I've seen some of your videos. Like they're pour their hearts out on the comment section of those videos.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing to see, right?
Yeah, it's super fulfilling that, I get to do something I love, which is build a business, but also do something that's really fulfilling and serving the world. And, it's more than just monetary results for me. It's, people being able to walk with their families and go back to work and really just reintegrate back into society. That's the most fulfilling part for me.
Yeah. And just out of curiosity on a personal level, like what made you decide? Because you went through the same process, right? You kind of went through the journey and now you're helping others with the same thing. But like, what was that moment that you just decided, you know what? I want to help other people. Like, do you kind of remember that moment?
Yeah. I've always wanted to do it. And I told myself actually when I was sick and bedridden, getting spoon fed, I said, if I were to ever get better, I want to bring this information to other people and I want to help other people recover. And so I actually ended up building a video marketing company, a content creation company. So I was a videographer. We ended up just working our way up in the city, working with bigger and bigger brands. And I ended up working with this marketing company and I got to learn all these different things about marketing. And they were actually helping people build their brands and really scale their brands. And so I saw all of this happening. I was editing ads for other people, editing YouTube videos, and I thought, you know what? I think I think I know how to build it now. So let me go out and do what I was pretty much called to do, help people. So I used all my content creation and marketing and business skills to create CFS Recovery. So I just put out a bunch of content, ended up turning into a worldwide program.
Makes sense. And so you started your business, you got a handful of clients in, and then you saw scaling with systems. So I'm curious how the
Mhm.
process worked. Like one, how do you find out about scaling with systems and Ravi? And second, what kind of motivated you close to a year ago to kind of reach out and see if we could potentially work together?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I actually found out about Ravi when I was working with that marketing agency, and I was one of the very first editors who ever saw the Scaling with Systems uh, program before he even launched it. So I had access to that stuff, and I saw it. It made total sense. Then I started watching his YouTube videos. Watched it for about a year before even starting CFS Recovery. But the biggest thing I remember it was learning about Zapier and learning how you could automate things. Then I started playing around with it, using it for our content, this and that. And it just seemed like all these simple, seemingly simple problems I was running into in growing this business, Ravi had a video for it. And so I applied as much free content as I could, for that first year of CFS recovery. And at that point, we had done about, I'd say, 100,000, right about at 100,000. But then I was running into bottleneck issues, and that's what really made me reach out, because it's interesting. We didn't reach out to Scaling Initiative to get more leads or to get more sales. Like, we had too many leads in the pipeline. The demand was too high. We couldn't keep up with all the clients. So I wanted to make sure we have a world-class experience, and that's exactly what Ravi talks about. Um, so I reached out, and that was the first thing I came to you guys for, is the fulfillment stuff.
Yeah, and I definitely remember that. I mean, you guys were getting leads, appointments coming in organically, and you were like, "Whoa, okay, we need to kind of pause and kind of update the whole client experience." But when you had your first onboarding call, and you've had two, you had one with Ravi, and then when we renewed, you had another one as well. But when you had your initial onboarding call, you work with me and Ravi. What did you immediately recognize, like areas in the business that needed fixing, and then what do we ultimately do? After that onboarding call, if you can still remember.
Yeah. And yeah, I remember that call like it was yesterday. I remember you guys were saying, okay, well, we just need to smoothen out the onboarding process, just getting people onto Discord, right? And these things that I thought were so complex, and I was thinking about for hours, up late at night trying to figure out how to do this. You guys were just like, oh, okay, just do this step one, step two, step three, boom, boom, boom. And you laid it out for me in Slack. And I was like, oh, okay, that's how it's done. So it was the onboarding of clients. I wanted to smoothen out that process, but also bring on more coaches, just to make sure that our clients were getting the attention they need. And so you helped me build that out. And I used all of the templates from Scaling Initiative. And that was a huge, huge help. Even our company values, our internal documents, I used the templates you guys provided to build all of that out, even the hiring funnel. So that was massive.
Makes sense. So when you joined us, you're definitely way ahead than most businesses. You guys were already doing 100K a month, but it seems like the main problem was you couldn't get past that because you had to revamp some of the. Basically,
Yeah.
you were capped, right, with the number of clients that you brought on. So
Yeah. Yeah.
does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually 100K in total up to that point. But
Oh,
we
okay.
did like 30K, another 30K, 20K. But yeah, we were capped.
Okay, cool. So you guys did 100K at that point, which is still great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a massive achievement in itself, right? So that was close to a year ago, right? So over the last 12 months, like what were, if you could just maybe tangibly, what were some of the big like changes that you've implemented that have occurred inside of the business, just directly from working with us and kind of learning from Ravi and the company and Scale Initiative?
Yeah. I think you know, our internal systems are so much better. Things are actually documented properly now, and a lot more things are automated. And the onboarding process is so much smoother than what it was before, to the point where like we were able to onboard 20 people, 30 people a month sometimes. And there's just so many moving parts there. But I think the crazy experience was that first 2 months being in Scaling Initiative, because up to that point, for the previous couple months, I was holding back because I was like, we cannot take any more clients. Like, we are bottlenecked. So even then, with that mindset, I was turning away sales calls. I was probably subconsciously losing sales calls because I didn't want to create a bigger problem. So I remember I spent that November, because that's when I joined, November and December, just revamping our systems, fixing the onboarding stuff. And then we opened the floodgates around Christmas time and early January. And in about 3 weeks, we did about 150K. And it was nuts. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't have those systems in place, especially the fulfillment stuff. Because we didn't have a marketing problem, we didn't have a lead problem or sales. It was the fulfillment. But I like how that's exactly what we focused on in the beginning. And so, yeah, it's just been great knowing that we have those systems in place if we need more coaches or things like that. So yeah, that was a crazy first 2 months, I remember, and I saw it work immediately.
And it's funny because I vividly remember your onboarding form as you came on, and you operated out of integrity. You were like, if we focused on marketing and sales to start, then there wouldn't be alignment between like what you wanted and what we were going to do. You wanted to focus on the client experience and fulfillment and increasing the capacity. And love how you were honest and transparent about that. And really, it's just good to see you as well for just setting healthy expectations. And we just dove deep into kind of fixing that issue.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. So, yeah, it's definitely allowed us to open the floodgates over the next few months there and just really bring on great talent. So, when I first started with you guys, we had one coach essentially. Now we have three amazing coaches onboarding another one, and they love it. They are perfectly aligned with our values. So, and I think that had a lot to do with their onboarding process as well, setting clear expectations. And I didn't have to do I didn't have to put tens and dozens of hours in to training them up, because those systems were already there from the start. So that was a huge help.
So for anyone that's watching this, maybe it was in your spot, right? They're capped out. They don't have an issue with marketing and sales. Like clients are begging to enroll, but they're having to say no.
Mhm.
What would, just based on the things that you've learned and implemented inside of the scaling initiative, like if you were to give them maybe a 3-step, 4-step roadmap of the things that you've done inside of the program to kind of enable you guys, right, to kind of open up that capacity, what
Mhm.
would that be, right? If you were to coach someone on the other side of the table here.
Yeah, I would say probably one of the biggest things in fulfillment is the handoff. I learned that from you guys. Like, what is that experience of the client from the time the deal closes to the time they're actually in the program, talking to the coaches, or they get access to the content? It has to be silky smooth, or else you're going to increase the refund rates and all that stuff. But here's the key: if you can create a system, like a duplicatable, predictable system that people go through that step by step, and they have a world-class experience, and you're pretty much removed from that, that's going to be the key to scaling fulfillment. And also, having a system in place to attract talent to your team who can help run that system. That's huge. And if you have that in place, then fulfillment issues are no problem.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. What's next for you guys? So you know, you open up capacity, right? You've hired amazing coaches. What are some of the bottlenecks that you're facing now as a business owner that you're hoping to, kind of fix in the next couple of months here?
Yeah. So for us, it's creating. We've launched this low ticket recurring program that's doing really well. It's very profitable, and people are getting great, like amazing results with it. So now it's just increasing. It's funny. We have the fulfillment stuff dialed in. Now we just need to start cranking more leads, cranking our marketing and all of that. So we want to get to the point where we are consistently onboarding, 40, 50 clients a month, um, seamlessly. Of course, there's going to be some hiccups here and there, but if we can do that, that's the next goal. I've brought in an operations person because now I think at this level, there's just so many moving parts and ideas to implement. I need an integrator there. But yeah, the goal is to onboard 40 to 50 new people a month.
Awesome, cool. And if you were to do like if you don't mind, just a before and after state, right? Obviously we've helped you with fulfillment and operations. You guys had marketing and sales kind of dialed in. But
Mhm.
like if we were to do before and after state, before working with us, it seems like you were at 100K in the business, a total, right? Doing 20, 30K per month. And I think it's been about 10 months since we started working together, close to a year now. Where are you guys at now as a business, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. So yeah, when we first saw you guys, when we first chatted, I was in total in its entirety, we had generated about 100,000 in revenue. As of today, we've generated 1.1 million. So literally 10x. Yeah. So
Wow.
1.1. So yeah, we added on another million to that 100,000 in the last 11 months. So things are moving in the right direction. Let's put it that way. So 10x.
Have you had time to process all of that? Like
Not
just in,
really, to be honest. Like, I look at the numbers. I've wanted to hit 2 comma clubs so bad, and if I had just, I mean, if we had hit that million mark a month prior, we would have got it, but we just, we had a solid month last month and this month. But I think we needed to get to a million before August for me to be able to walk the stage, but that's okay. We still got the award. That was a big goal of mine for a while. I honestly didn't know how it was going to happen. This time last year, it seemed not impossible, but very far out of reach. It was a big, scary goal, but now we've done it, and on to the next goals.
You knew it was going to happen. You just didn't know.
I knew it was going to happen. Yeah, I saw it so clearly. It's one of those things I just knew. It's just a matter of I don't know how the heck it's going to happen. I know it will happen. So let's figure it out. Let's bring on the right people and just try to build this thing properly. That's another reason I came to you guys as well, is I wanted to build it properly. And you guys have done this before. So that's one of the other reasons I came to you guys.
Awesome, dude. That's so great to hear. And I'm really proud of you guys. I mean, you work super hard. I've seen you work, and yeah, congrats on the win. More to come. So just to kind of wrap up here, just two more questions. One, if someone was on the fence, just kind of joining Scale Initiative, especially people that are in your level, marketing and sales, like they've had that covered, but they want to fix fulfillment, want to open up capacity. Like, what would you say to those people?
Yeah, I would say if you're bottlenecked right now and you've been trying to solve it and you just have no idea how, and you have no people to help you out or no one to turn to, and you want to do it right, then go look at Ravi's videos. He has tons of free videos on YouTube. And if that makes sense, if it even worked a little bit before, then this stuff is really, really going to work because it's a tailored approach. So yeah, if you're bottlenecked, everybody needs help to get to the next level, and scaling with system is a great way to do that.
I appreciate that. And for the people that maybe want to work with you, like who do you serve specifically? Like, where should they be in their journey? And if they do fit that, right, and if they need help, your guys' support and coaching and guidance, what's the best way for them to kind of connect with you guys?
Yeah, so they can follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram. We have a private Facebook group, but I think the best way to reach me is probably Instagram. We help people, especially nowadays. Long COVID is super real. Burnout is super real. So that's another kind of clientele we work with. People who are experiencing burnout. A lot of business owners actually get this, and they're feeling very physical symptoms like chest pain, weird stuff, insomnia. When it starts getting physical, that's when there's a real problem here, and you definitely want to turn it around sooner than later before it gets out of hand. But yeah, Instagram is probably the best way to reach me. CFS Recovery.
Okay, so they just have to search CFS Recovery, and then they'll find your Instagram, and they can kind of message you guys there.
Yeah,
Look at
shoot
some
me a
of the
DM.
content. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
Cool. Well, Miguel, man, this has been awesome. It's been amazing to see your growth. I know there's many more wins to come, and we're happy to kind of support you along the way. But again, thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy, so thanks so much for taking some time away from your schedule to kind of speak with us here today, and appreciate you joining this call.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.